Hello, what is up YouTube? It is your boy here, Carity Fiber, aka The Real Ric Flair. And today I'm back with yet another gaming video. And today we're going to be playing MASH 4077 for the Atari 2600. Now, I did grow up watching this show. I've seen every episode of MASH and the movie about a billion times. It used to stay on TV, like almost as much as Friends. So let's go ahead and jump on into this game. Before I hit this start button, I'm gonna explain a little bit about what's going on here. You got the yellow helicopter, which is not me. I'm the blue helicopter, and as you see the tents beside the helicopter, that is the MASH unit. And those little guys laying all over the place, that is the wounded soldiers. So you have to go in there while dodging the trees, the other helicopter, and at the bottom of the screen you see a tank going back and forth. This tank has insane aim, and he hits you one time, the helicopter crashes. Also, if you bump into the yellow helicopter or you let the yellow helicopter bump into you, after so many bumps, it knocks your helicopter down too. But what I really like is this right here. The theme song. Now right now, just to show you this part, I have it set to where it's 2 players. Helicopter going down, see? Notice how the ambulance just comes in and scoops up the helicopter though. So let's switch modes here. There we go. Now this one right here is probably the easiest because all you gotta do now is avoid the tank, avoid the trees, avoid the yellow helicopter, and just catch the wounded as they fall from the plane. Doesn't sound like it's that much easier, but trust me, it is. And there's essentially 2 modes to this game. Well, 2 different missions, I guess you'd say. And we'll get to that just here in a moment. Look how fast he's shooting out all those wounded. Like, that is crazy. Here we go. The actual operation part. Ah, I touched it. Now, if you notice where it said ferret face right there, that's a quote from the show from like Major Burns. I believe that was his name. Would insult people with that. I'm gonna get back to this here because I really want to show y'all this, the actual mobile hospital part of it. Boom. And like I said, it's essentially operation. That's all it is. If you touch the sides once you pick up the bullet with the little scalpel there, or whatever you want to call that, if you touch the sides, you see now what it'll do. And that kind of gives you a jump scare, to be honest with you. The first time I played this, I was trying to avoid everything. I was trying to avoid touching the skin at all with the little scalpel or whatever it is. But then I realized, oh, you don't have to do that. You just gotta, once you pick it up, then you had to back out following the pattern. So once you actually pick up the bullet, as you see here, you gotta kind of follow these lines, which is kind of hard. Boom. But kind of easy as well, sometimes. Now, you can actually use both ends of the scalpel. Like, see, now I'm using the big end. Boom. Pull it out. There we go. Depending on what mode or setting you have it on, whatever you want to call it, depends on the timer on here. But if you got it like I do, it's actually kind of fun. It's challenging, for sure. Now let's get back to the helicopter part here in just a minute. Let me finish this. Whoop, whoop. There we go. Now watch how difficult this can be. So you gotta pick up the troops, take them back there. And this part can be insanely difficult just because you gotta avoid these trees. You got the other yellow helicopter trying to come through there. And he bounces you all over the place if he touches you. Also, the glitching is pretty wild here too, as you can see. But I think a lot of that, like Atari games had tons of glitches in them. I think it was just visual glitches, really. I think they all had that. I don't think I've ever played not one Atari game that didn't have a visual glitch in it. There we go. Let's go ahead and do a different mode. And as you see, there's just so many different modes you can switch to, but with essentially the same goal. This one being my favorite, catching them. It's definitely the easiest with the helicopter. This one's a little bit easier too because the helicopters are smaller. But as you see, the helicopter is beating me all over the place. There we go. And so, you know, I'm going to give this game a solid 7 out of 10. I'm being super generous with that number because of the show, because I'm a fan of the show. But also, the game isn't bad. Like, yeah, it has its visual glitches, you know, but so does pretty much every Atari game. It is pretty challenging. It's challenging, I'll say that. It does kind of scare you a little bit, especially on the operation part when you touch the sides. That is a big jump scare. But I do like the reference at that part. I do like the fact that it is a MASH game. That's cool. I wish they could have threw like one more mode on there, maybe where you're, I don't know, running around trying to, like, I guess fight other enemies. But of course, and MASH wasn't about fighting. It was about people at a mobile army surgical hospital. You know, so of course it wasn't about that. So it's pretty cool all in all. Game actually is pretty smooth. It handles very well. As you've seen when I was doing the actual hospital part. And the helicopter part was pretty smooth too, other than the insane hardness of it. With the yellow helicopter beating you all over, the tank going all over the place. Other than that, it's a pretty great game. I hope you enjoyed this video, as I did making it. And if you want to see other ones, which I do plan on doing more Atari games in the future, even though I'm not an Atari fan really, other than the Atari Jaguar and ST and Lynx, let me know in the comment section.